These are the Big East Worrell CLAHAR highlights.
So much like the Open, he can really spread the defense. Got to get out on him.
Well, when Young blasts off that ball screen, gets into the middle, you can't help off with a three-point shooter.
Seagears missed the floater, had the rebound for a moment, then lost it. CLAHAR, the push, and the basket, and offensive foul called.
Wow. Tell you, I love this kid. Played great. We were talking to Mike Rice, exalting the way he played against him. Nice look.
Whipped it inside to Derek Randall. And CLAHAR leads the break the other way. He's from Brooklyn, very excited about playing in the Garden tonight.
Why did he pass to Crockett?
And Mack makes a three. 45% for the year. That leads the Big East from beyond the arc. He's the second leading free throw shooter in the league, behind Peyton Siva of Louisville. And CLAHAR buries one from the free throw line.
Kid coming home, Brooklyn kid. He plays with a lot of confidence and fire.
Paul's taken 5 threes already. They haven't hit any of them.
Nice. Whew. How about that? Draw a few and then find. Overreacting, overhelp.
That was just good offense. The fade screen, then the down screen, and curled off it. Ooh, how nice was that?
How deep was that, too?
CLAHAR to Melvin after the bucket at the other end by Derek Randall. Miller underneath, and the layup up and good for Kadeem Jack. Another product of New York City from Queens. Redshirt sophomore, originally from Trinidad, and he's really still learning how to play the game. Didn't start playing at his 14 years old.
Randall really whacking his way around with Kirk on that box. Got away with some. Lay in the wood. The little kid is tough.
CLAHAR, as you said earlier, Bill, Mike Rice thought CLAHAR was the most important player in DePaul's regular season win against his Scarlet Knights. Moses Morgan, who's in off the bench. He's their leading three-point field goal maker. CLAHAR tried to split the defense, and he got bumped.
Well, he is quick, isn't he? And clever?
Quick and strong.
Tough, you're right. Well, they are quick down that floor. They explode. You got to pay attention in the defensive transition.
Worrell Robertson set a screen up high, led eventually to a three for Worrell CLAHAR to tie the game at 23. The first made 3 for DePaul. Judge fouled on a reach in by Cleveland Melvin.
Boy, they are attacking that press in a terrific little look away delivery to the center of the lane. Oh, look at this. Lenny Gamble on the sellout.
And Mike Poole went for the steal and didn't get it. And Cleveland Melvin with the bucket. He has 14 now to lead all scorers. Would you guys agree Louisville's the favorite coming in? That seems to be the consensus.
And or Georgetown. What do you think?
I think Louisville's the best team, but I don't think anybody's head and shoulders above.
Dane Miller called for his 3rd foul.
Give me your 4 number ones, Bubble Boy.
Gonzaga. I would put Duke as a number 1. I would put Louisville as a number 1. And who am I missing?
The 4th number
1. Indiana. Yeah, I knew it was an obvious one. It was Indiana, because I think they were probably the number 1 overall. Without losing a single non-conference game. They had 9 losses that year, all of them in conference.
Yeah, they were the number 9 seed in the Big East. Went on to win the national championship, had the memorable 5-game run here. It kind of blew up that notion that you don't want to expend a lot of energy to win your conference tournament because it'll hurt you in the NCAA tournament. They won that one too. Wild shot by Young for 20 points, a Rutgers high, and 2 shy of the career high he had at Kansas State, and 8 rebounds. 1 assist for Wally Judge tonight.
You know, and Mike Rice last year, this is what they expected from him on a regular basis. They thought he'd be a terrific contributor. Instead, another pass there. Goodness.
Mack tried to lob it to Miller for the acrobatic dunk. It didn't happen. CLAHAR tried to pass it underneath, and it's deflected out of bounds by Rutgers. Mack for three.
Boy. Dagger. Early. Wow. Can he stroke it?
And the dunk at the other end by Cleveland Melvin. DePaul brings all-out pressure. Couldn't strip it from Mack.
No.
Oh, Rajon Rondo move.
Yeah, it was.
Wrap it behind his back. Poole couldn't finish.
They got to get back and defend right now. It's not been a sense of it.
Thought he had an opening there. Cut off quickly. Arcidiacono. Ball wants to run. CLAHAR. And CLAHAR from the outside knocks down a three.
Spurty game so far.
Well, depth is so important to the success of a lot of basketball teams. I mean, there are some successful teams that are going to go 7 or 8 players, but you gotta at least get something off the bench to try and have any success long term. Villanova tries to throw back at DePaul, but DePaul throws it down. Rocket from outside rattles that one home.
They don't have a power game inside.
CLAHAR from outside. Three-pointer is good.
DePaul shoots pretty quick, don't they? They don't spend a lot of time passing it around.
Shepu hits the side of the backboard. And CLAHAR comes out of there with it. He's got Young on the wing and spots him. But his jumper's off the mark.
DePaul started this game turning the ball over a bunch, and then they went for about 7 minutes without a turnover. Now they've gotten back into that motion. 2 more after that. So that's been the story of the game. When they turn it over, Villanova taking advantage.
CLAHAR comes off the baseline and knocks in a three-pointer.
That's 3 for him in this game. 9 points on those 3 shots.
Oh, 6-0 run to start this half. Villanova getting all of their field goals in the paint. Crockett from outside, and his three-pointer answers right back. A 12-point game. Morgan from outside, no good. There's a quick trigger, and then Arcidiacono travels.
Jakar Sampson at St. John's, of course, is the leading candidate for the Big East Rookie of the Year. But if Ryan keeps playing like this, he could get some votes.
I'm not kidding. He missed some shots early in this game that he probably, when they start looking at the videotape of this game, Jay Wright will say, don't take those shots. Nice drive by CLAHAR.
Littlest guy on the floor, taking it strong with his off hand. Nicely done.
CLAHAR averages about 22 minutes a game, but he's coming off a 33-minute game, albeit an overtime game against Notre Dame, and he's been on the floor throughout this one.
I think he's earning the minutes. Earlier in the year, did not play as much, but when he's on the floor, they're aggressive.
Some outstanding talent on that Michigan team, so we'll look for that. Oh, some good news. It's a block by Kirk. Melvin turns and fires and drops it down.
Boy, he's got that mid-range game, doesn't he? 15 feet and in, he is really deadly.
Not that it's a crucial factor right now. DePaul gets a rare defensive stop. Crockett comes up firing in the miss. There's one and out of there, and Hilliard, he's not going to be shy taking it right to the hole. Kingston almost had the rebound. The ball's tied up. And possession arrow is going to give it back to DePaul.
Here's Brandon Young driving baseline. CLAHAR, the senior. It doesn't go in the rebound to Lamar Patterson. Woodall down the lane, leaves it for Zana, and it comes to CLAHAR. DePaul on a 5-game losing streak. They've lost 14 of 15 overall. Patterson wanted Dante Taylor, and instead it comes to Darrell Robertson. Taylor into the game for Pittsburgh. He's been battling a bit of a stomach bug as CLAHAR goes to the left hand for 2.
That's why when you look at the Pitt's statistics sheet, nothing really jumps out at you. Only 2 guys average in double figures, but it's a cumulative effort.
CLAHAR in traffic. How about the little guy, Worrell CLAHAR, 5'11", 186.
DePaul was scoring against their man-to-man because they were handling it well, penetrating. DePaul is not a good three-point shooting team, hence the change in strategy. Go to the zone, force the outside shot if you can.
There's an outside shot, but CLAHAR making Pitt pay. Dangerous pass. It comes to CLAHAR. And there's a foul on the floor. It's on Pittsburgh. Brandon Young, 6th all-time in assists to DePaul.
This is opportunity time right now. Pittsburgh does not have a lot of scorers in the game. This is a good defensive team, but not a lot of scorers. So I think right now DePaul has to make hay and get back in the game right now.
Worrell CLAHAR looking to make this a memorable senior day. He's got 11.
Active zone, not a passive one. Look at the hands of the players. Out to cover passing lanes.
Oregon nearly lost the handle. Shot clock running down. CLAHAR. He has been the offense in the first half for DePaul. He's got a dozen.
He's used his left hand 3 times in the lane. He's a right-handed player. That's not easy to do. He also uses his body to protect it. Must do that because of his lack of height.
Shot clock running down once again. CLAHAR out to Morgan. Open 3, that's short. Offensive rebound by the Blue Demons. Morgan had another look.
But the defense has been stellar to start the second half, and it was porous in the first half. So they've improved. Now when they can get it done at this end of the floor, CLAHAR has been their main guy. They get the ball right where they need to. Nice execution. Their best player gets a shot in the lane.
Cleveland Melvin with the first points of the second half. Moore's got 14 points, 5 of 5 from the field, 4 of 4 from downtown.
From the exact same spot on the floor.
Skip pass to CLAHAR. And a little guy again.
The floating shot in the lane is one of the more difficult shots to make because you usually shoot and come down in the same place. That's classic. And on those shots, you're floating forward. Lots of guys hit back rim when they shoot that shot. It is interesting to note, last year 10-8, Louisville. They make the Final Four. The year before, Connecticut at 500, and they win the national championship. Players say it is tougher to win the Big East championship than the NCAA championship.
And one coming up for Worrell CLAHAR.
if you lose, right?
Right.
But you don't go in thinking you want to lose. You want to win. That's the concept.
Batted ball comes to DePaul.
What heart. What heart with this kid. You talk about a guy who wants to go out on a positive note on senior day. Worrell CLAHAR is your man. 16 points, 7 of 9. He's got 4 fouls, but watch this. Change direction 2 or 3 times, slides in among the big guys, hits the deck. That's about the 5th time he's hit the floor hard. Great heart by this player. Love to see him playing well in his last game.
Gets the friendly bounce. He's got 17, too shy of equaling a career high. And for Pittsburgh, that last foul on Dante Taylor. So Taylor's got 3, Woodall's got 3, and James Robinson, the freshman, also with 3 fouls for Pitt.
Well, you look at this in the last 6 minutes of the game, okay? Can DePaul muster enough to get there? Well, being down to Pittsburgh by 9 or 10 is being down to other teams like 15 or 16 because of their methodical style.
He's only attempted 1 shot so far. Young doubled, looking for help. Lost it. And CLAHAR down low. Gets his own rebound and has it knocked out of bounds. A foul called underneath. So Worrell CLAHAR will go to the line. You said it earlier, the kid's heart, huh?
Oh, it's great to watch, isn't it? You witness this in college basketball. You see guys that are inspired, especially a guy like him who's short. The fact that he's playing college basketball in the Big East.
Free throw is short. DePaul's in the double bonus, so it's 2 shots. Now CLAHAR, a guy, came to DePaul after starting his career at the JUCO ranks at Lawson Community College in Birmingham, Alabama, the lone scholarship senior on Oliver Purnell's roster, and he has just tied his career high with 19 points.
Off defensive possessions, that means you've got to get that defensive rebound.
Blue Demons open up with the basketball. That's McKinney. Looking for room. Had Melvin open. CLAHAR pulls the trigger on the 3 and hits. What a way to start for DePaul.
Great drive, but he's got to finish that one.
CLAHAR gets it to McKinney. All alone.
We talk about gaining energy from the little guy. Number 0, CLAHAR, makes a 3 on the first possession. Great steal, dives on the floor. Terrific start for the Blue Demons.
He's a senior. Coach Purnell told me that he can feel his collegiate career coming to an end, and that's why he's played so well this second half of the season.
Nolan hails from just north in Milwaukee. Probably has a good-sized crowd along with the Boatwrights today.
CLAHAR tracks it down. Back up with it. Off the glass.
Undisciplined play by Boatwright, who kind of chased the ball, which allowed CLAHAR to just turn and take that right-hand dribble to the rim and up off the glass. And Melvin. And I think that last possession, it may have been a quick 3 that Young took. I also think sometimes that Cleveland Melvin can find a few more shots and be a little more selfish, because those 2 guys have to get looks.
Well, something Young wanted to do going into this season was be more aggressive. Now, taking a 3 like he did there, I'm not sure that's what he was looking for. Going to the bucket more often. He's done a good job of that this season. Melvin for 3, and he hits it. Just his 13th triple of the year. 4-point lead for UConn. And a couple of minutes ago, put it on the floor and took it right to the hoop.
Everybody starts feeling better about themselves when they see it go through the basket. And McKinney buries an important three to close, to actually, no, take the lead.
DePaul on an 8-0 run right now. Napier, back iron. Here comes CLAHAR. Alley-oop, Melvin finishes. Welcome back to Big East basketball, presented by PNC Bank as we get set to start the second half. UConn will open with the basketball. 3-point lead for DePaul. CLAHAR forces the turnover. Here comes Young to CLAHAR. Up with the right hand. Got the roll.
Lou, you got to love the little guy. He started off the game with a similar play where a dive.
Couldn't miss against the Irish. I called that game. I think he went 8 for 9 from the floor at 16 points and 7 rebounds. McKinney, who had a big first half, he had 9. CLAHAR up with it.
Yeah, he's a huge threat on the floor for the Huskies.
In his freshman season, he was Kemba Walker's backup on that 2011 national championship team. Last year, he averaged 13 a game. This season, just under 17 a game. Did you see him turning into the player that he's become?
Well, I don't think that surprises anybody. I mean, he certainly has always been very ready for a challenge, even for a young guy like him to come when Kemba Walker was here. That's a heck of a challenge for you. But he's a talented guard, a great scorer, and a very good distributor as well.
2 for Kirk. Back to the 10-point game. Stop the 13-0 UConn run.
That's a terrific story for him to be able to play for his hometown team. And I know that, with all the changes that they had personnel-wise, he's really brought some leadership to Coach Kevin Ollie's team.
CLAHAR all the way off the glass. No one picked him up. How many times have we seen DePaul get away with that tonight?
Well, I can tell you that both staffs will have a significant transition tape to show their team and how not to play transition defense.
Do you ever have to pull out that tape? He's been on fire from three-point range since that Cincinnati game. Now 11 of 15 beyond the arc. Crockett gets 3 back.
A great answer, and boy, they needed that. That'll do it to you.
Boatwright 35 minutes a game, Calhoun 31, and Daniels 27. CLAHAR picks it right away from Boatwright, and Young to the other end.
Williams for Chicago State, 6'6" junior out of CVS High School. There's a pull-up jumper for the Blue Demons, and Worrell CLAHAR knocks it down from 16. Tucker, who transferred here from the North Dakota State College of Science, just a junior. A lot of juniors on this team. This is Rosenberg down low, high off the glass, no, and the rebound to Cleveland Melvin.
Here's what you got to do: stop the basketball.
Oh, no one stopped CLAHAR.
Yeah, you have to stop the basketball.
And Tracy Dildy has a very upset look on his face as he calls a timeout. Went right into the hands of Brandon Young from DePaul. And here comes Young quickly across the timeline. Boy, they push it up as fast as anybody I've seen.
Well, yeah, they want to run.
Shot back of the rim, no. Chipped up and in by the Blue Demons. And Jeremy Robinson with 2 fouls back in the game. Rosenberg loses his man. Just to Starks, back to Rosenberg. Up and under is missed. Battle for the rebound. Like CLAHAR maybe slid and traveled. The official said he never had control of it, so no violation.
That was a travel. I mean, it is what it is.
Chicago State up by 5. DePaul basketball. Around a screen is Crockett. High post to CLAHAR. I want to lob down low. Melvin, no. Tipped up, no. Out of bounds, it'll stay with DePaul.
Boy, the team is playing volleyball on the backboards. You have to do a job of blocking out. You have to put a body on them.
Arthur Gage is going to check in. Arthur is a 6'2" junior Transferred here from Lincoln College, played his high school basketball. I watched him ever since he was a sophomore at Plainfield Central. CLAHAR gets free down low, goes up, and it's blocked out of there by Starks. Good hustle play.
Oh, what a block.
There's Starks, good look at him, undersized, but very aggressive, very strong down low. Jump hook is good for Melvin.
Boy, he's a good player.
This to make it a 4-point game, missed it. But the rebound was in DePaul's hands, but comes down to Chicago State. Williams running right at CLAHAR, goes up a wild shot again.
They have to take their time. See, you don't want to get too excited.
46-43. CLAHAR brings it into the front court for the Demons. Tucker bodies him. This is Morgan. The one Melvin down low against Robinson. After all, Robinson has 4 fouls. 3 in the air from Crockett. Nope. Robinson had the rebound, but lost control of it, and then a backcourt violation.
Yeah, his foot went into the backcourt. So when his foot went into the backcourt, that's an over and back violation.
Comes Tucker. Chicago State with just 2 points here in the first 6.5 minutes. Tucker behind the back, turns it over. CLAHAR gets it ahead. McKinney with a lay-in. Just like that, it's a 1-point game.
Well, here comes the pressure by DePaul.
Back to running the weave out top. They did this with some success, DePaul did in the first half.
Yeah, Chicago State back to that zone. So now you fall back. Make them beat you from the outside if possible.
Shot clock at 8. Young to CLAHAR for 3. Got it. Now the senior's not a 3-point specialist, but he sure looked like one there.
Well, you see what I'm talking about when you take your time. The great ball movement, they took their time. They didn't take the first shot. They took the best shot.
Cougars need a bucket, and they need it now. Need to give this big crowd here tonight something to cheer about. Tucker. Now to Rosenberg. Trying to do a lot of one-on-one here, and it's not happening.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of one-on-one. You need to move the basketball.
There's a ball screen now with Russ to see if he slips through. There he goes. Got to mismatch it. They get it to him with 7 on the shot clock.
Waited too long to give it to him. He was open.
They've already played at Wisconsin Green Bay, at Kent State, at Tulane, at Valparaiso, at Notre Dame. They have DePaul here tonight, obviously. They host Alabama State. You want to come out and see some basketball this Saturday, 2:05. And then you ready for the gauntlet? Oregon State, Rice, Houston, Ohio State, Toledo, UNLV. Happy New Year.
All on the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight road games if you count the game in New Jersey. Wow.
Our next broadcast here on Lakeshore Sports, 20th of January against Loyola.
Another cross-town rivalry. Come out to Chicago State, the Convocation Center. Beautiful facility here. That'll be a ball game just like this one.
Kenny, that schedule is called a character builder.
Yes, yes. Well, it helps you prepare for your conference, that's for sure.
Long 3 is off the mark by Aaron Williams. And now it's just a matter of DePaul running out the clock, or as much of it as they can. Up by 10. 17 points for Chicago State here in the second half.
And they scored 44 in the first half.
Tucker gets called for the foul.
I can't wait to find out what Coach Purnell said at halftime, because I think that's a speech you want to say every game.
Bottle it and sell it.
Yep.
Next game for the Blue Demons, they'll take on Milwaukee 4 o'clock on Sunday. And they have Arizona State, Northern, and they have Loyola on the schedule too coming up. Don't forget this Saturday, right here, Jones Convocation Center, Alabama State against Chicago State. This will be the first home loss this year, too, for Chicago State. They were 2-0 coming in.
I think Alabama State should be an outstanding basketball team, and it will be a great basketball game. And I think the Cougar showed today.
Thank you for watching. From the Champions Agency.